إنه من هيثم وإنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Hi and hello and welcome to my video today. I am excited to be able to show you how to connect your Flutter app to Firebase. Firebase's real-time database. So let's say that you'd like to create an exciting app, something like this. Most of the time you'll need to save your data somewhere. So in this particular app, we have chosen to save our data onto Firebase. Of course, I'm not going to show you everything in this video, but I'm just going to show you how to fast connect your Flutter app to Firebase. Okay, so first of all, let's go to the amazing thing, my special friend ChatGPT. And I've got the free version in here, 3.5. And so let me ask ChatGPT this question: how can I connect my Flutter app to Firebase's real-time database using the Android method, and then write hello Firebase message into the real-time database? Please provide a step-by-step guide, and please note that I'm using Android Studio. So the more information you give to ChatGPT, hopefully the better the answer is. So let's click enter into that. And magically, here goes ChatGPT, which will give you a list of numbered steps that will show you how to connect your Flutter app to Firebase. Now, most of the time, well, actually, I believe that most of the time this thing proves to be correct. So let's actually follow the steps and try to connect to Firebase. So first of all, let's create a new Flutter project. Okay, let's start from scratch. All right, make sure that your Flutter tab in here actually points to your Flutter SDK directory. Then click next, and then let's create. Let's give it a name: Flutter Firebase. CRUD, for example. That's short for create, read, update, and delete. And then 2024. Okay, let's select Java into here, for the Android language. Let's keep Swift in there. Let's untick all of these. Okay, so I don't really need them. I just like my app to run on Android and iOS. Let's see if that works. And the directory already exists, so that means I already have an app which has this exact name. So how about just adding one in there? Okay, let's click create on that, and now hopefully our default Flutter app will be created for us automatically. Okay, I think I've got my emulator here up and running. That's great. Let's give it some time, and now let's actually let's maximize this, and let's actually run this and make sure that the default app runs just fine. I just want to make sure that I'm starting from a solid ground and that my default Flutter app works just fine. Okay, let's see if that works. So okay, great, fantastic. So here's my app actually fully running. As you can see, that's great. So let's go to the next step, which is let's create a Firebase project. So let's go to Google. Okay, let's in a Google search app, and here let's just type Firebase console. Okay, just like that, Firebase console, and here's the URL: console.firebase.google.com. Let's click on that. Please make sure that you do have a Gmail account. As you can see in here, I'm logged into my Gmail account. If you don't have that, please make sure that you create a new one. Okay, here's my Firebase console. Let's create a new project. Okay, let's give it a name. Let's just call it Flutter Firebase 2024. Okay, let's see if that works. Let's accept everything. Okay, continue. Okay, let's continue again. Let's leave everything as it is. So I'm just going to accept United States in there. Let's tick this and let's create the project. And let's give it some time to fully prepare the project for us. Okay, let's click continue. Right. Great, amazing. Okay, so in here, my friends, let's select the Android icon in here. Let's click on Android. And then in here, my friends, we do need to have our Android package name. So let's find that out. Okay, let's go back to Android Studio. First of all, make sure that you have the project in here, the project view. Okay, and here's our main.dart. So now we need to go to the Android folder, okay, then to app, then to source, then to main, then to Java. I'm using Java, so you could be using Kotlin just as well. And then select this, then main activity, and please notice that here is the package name. So I'm just gonna select all of it. Notice that, okay, I'm just gonna copy this. Notice that I have not copied the semicolon, okay? And please just ignore all of these errors, okay? These are actually not errors, okay? You can just ignore them. Actually, you can just close the main activity, and we can go back to the top. So let's now go back to Google, okay? Let's paste in that thing, and now we can register our app. Beautiful. And here we go. Okay, so now we need to download the Google services.json. Let's download this, and it actually tells you exactly where you need to save it. So it says in here, first of all, make sure you switch to the project view, and then make sure that you take the downloaded file of this and paste it into the app folder of the Android project. Okay, now let's do this. Okay, and great. So here's a mistake. Okay, as you can see, I have downloaded this file before, and now it's saying to me Google Services 1.json. Now this will not work with you. You'll need to make sure you delete the space and then the one with the brackets, and then just take Google-services.json. Okay, actually, as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna delete everything. Okay, so let's go to my let me just actually remove everything in my downloads. Okay, great. So now let's download the Google Services.json again. Okay, and now it has downloaded with the correct name, Google-services, no space.json. Notice that there's no space in there. There's no one in it or anything like that. So now let's go back to our Android Studio, and let's make sure that we paste it, we copy that file and paste it into the app folder in here. That's exactly what it says in here, right? So move your downloaded Google Services.json file into your app level root directory. Okay, so not inside the source, only inside the app. Okay, so we can actually copy and paste that file in here. Okay, I could do that using the command line. I love the command line, but you can just copy and paste. Okay, so now I'm just going to copy this file. Okay, copy, and then paste it inside the app folder in here. So paste it in there. Okay, Google Services, then okay. So here's my Google-services.json. You really should keep these private if you feel like it. Okay, so I'm just gonna close that. Right, so now let's go back to Google. All right, and let's continue. So click next. Okay, and now I'm gonna select the Groovy option in here, and please note that there are two build.gradle files. Okay, one of them is inside the Android project, and one of them is inside the app directory of the Android project. So let's see the difference between them. So one of them is inside the so here's the Android project. Notice that I am in the project view. Okay, so here's the project view, here's the Android project. All right, and then inside the Android project there's build.gradle, this one here. Okay, and then inside the app folder there is another one which is called build.gradle. Okay, here we are. Right, now we need to modify the outer build.gradle file, the file that is inside the Android project. Okay, so what we need to do is just to copy this line in here and make sure you have it in the dependencies section. So let's copy this. Okay, and let's go back to the Android Studio. We need to paste it in the dependencies section in here. Now my friends, I am going to make some modifications into this. So I want to start with the class path basically. So I'm just going to copy this, okay, put it as a class path in here. Then my friends, notice that is in here dot, and then there is a colon here. So we need to have a colon in here, not a dot, okay. and then I don't like the version 4.4.1 by the way, because it doesn't work with me. I don't know why. I think maybe there is a bug or something. So I'm just going to delete this, okay? And then in here, I'm actually going to use for the version 4.3.15, okay? Now, where did I get that from? So as you can see in here from my slides, as you can see, colon, okay? And then colon 4.3.15. That's a version. That is the version that is working with me, okay? If you have a better version that works with you, then fantastic, go ahead with it. So 4.3.15, 4.3.15. Okay, right, so we're done with that. Let's go back to Google. And then step number 2, you'll need to modify the inner build.gradle file. The build.gradle file that is inside the app folder of the Android project, okay? So first of all, where is that? So here's our Android folder. Inside it there is an app folder, and then there is the build.gradle. Notice that this one is not this one. It's not the same. So we need to have the inner one, this one in here, which is located inside the app folder, which is by itself contained within the Android folder in there. So let's open this, okay? And let's go back to Google. So now we need to copy the second one in here, this one in here. That's because the com.android application, I'm sure it's going to be there already. See, it's there, com.android application. So somewhere underneath it, let's paste this one here, okay? And that's just about it. Now, please notice that this is not an error. I know it's given in red, but just ignore that error. That's not an error, okay? You can actually now close this and even close this one as well. Let's go back to Google. Now, this thing is optional. It works with me without actually having to copy and paste those inside the build.gradle file. So I'm just going to leave them out. I am not going to copy these and put them inside the inner build.gradle file. And now let's click on continue to cancel. Okay, fantastic. Now, my friends, let's prepare our database. So you can see the build tab in here. So let's expand that, and then let's select the real-time database, okay? And then let's just give it some time. Hopefully it will open. Okay, great. Now let's create a database. Okay, great. Let's leave everything as it is. Let's click next, and then let's start in the test mode, okay? Now please notice that you are only given a month for the read and write access, a month from today, because today happens to be April 15th, 2024. So I'm going to modify that in just a second. So let's click enable next. Okay, great. And so here's my database. All right. So now, as you can see, the my real-time database is now completely empty, null. There's nothing there. Let's first of all go to rules. Okay. Let's click on the rules tab. And again, as you can see, you're only given up to a month from the time that you create your database. So why not actually change this? Okay, so let's delete all of these. Just have true, then comma, okay, and then true here again. And now this will hopefully give you access to your Firebase forever, not just for the next 30 days. And then let's make sure that we click publish. Yeah, let's publish our rules. Okay. Now, of course, this is just a test project. You should never ever set your rules to be public in a real world environment or in a production environment. This is just a testing thing. Okay, so let's actually test our rules. Let's test our connection. So let's go to the rules playground. Okay, now now this is the get operation, the read operation. In other words, let's click the simulation. And as you can see, we've got a green tick in there. That means our read operation has worked successfully. Let's try a write operation. So for example, update or set. Okay, let's click run onto that. And yahoo! As you can see, our write operation also works just fine. Great. Let's go back to the data tab. Okay, great. So now let's go back to Android Studio. Actually, before that, let's go to ChatGPT just to check what would be our next step. So the next thing is that we need to go to this file, the pubspec.yaml file, and then we need to add the Firebase, some dependencies in there. The Firebase underscore core and Firebase underscore database. Let's copy these two. Okay, let's go back to our Android Studio and let's find the pubspec file, which is here. Okay, and we need to find the dependencies section, which is right in here. And then notice that the indentation is really important in the pubspec.yaml. Okay, so now let's copy and paste those dependencies. Notice that the indentation must be exactly right. Okay, so they have to start exactly at this point, at the exact same column that the Flutter starts. So if you have it like this, it's not going to work. If you have it like this under the dependencies, it's not going to work either. So it has to be exactly like this. Now, at the time of this recording, these versions work just fine with me. Okay, I don't know when you're going to watch this, but most of the time the latest versions will work just fine. If not, you'll get an error in here. Hopefully you'll get some suggestions to fix them. If you can't find the you'll have to go on Google search the latest version. Okay, and please do not forget to click pubget, this pubget. And please make sure you do not get any errors after clicking the pubget. So now things seems to be working. The next step is to go back to the main.dart. Okay, and now we have to add some code in here. Right, and again let's go back to ChatGPT and let's try to check what would be the next step. So we need to add these two things. Okay, we need to add these two lines. So let's copy them. So widgets flutter binding.ensure initialized, and then await Firebase.initialize app. As you can see, the Firebase, there is an error in here. Let's try to correct them. Using what? Using what? Yes, you've got it right. Using our magical correction key combination. So Alt and Enter. Alt and Enter. Yeah. Alt and Enter. And let's try to import this library. Please note that it has added this import statement. Now, to be able to get this import statement, you will first need to add these two lines, then do pubget. Okay. Then you can actually add do Alt and Enter and it should work just fine. Let's now correct the await command. Okay, so how do we correct this? Let's try Alt and Enter once again. Alt Enter and add async modifier. Beautiful. Okay, great. Right, let's now test our app. If everything works, nothing will happen. Okay, we will just get this thing exactly as before. But if there was some errors, you will get lots of errors in here. So let's check that. Nothing seems to be happening. So let's actually stop our app and let's start it once again. Let's just give it some time. Okay, so it seems to be installing our app. Okay, I don't want to see the screen, I want to see the default screen. Okay, great. Things seems to be actually working. Wow, that's great. Beautiful. Okay, so let's now move on to the next step. Again, let's go back to ChatGPT and let's find out what the next step is. And the next step is this. So hopefully if we actually add this couple of lines, we will get the hello Firebase message written to our database. So let's do that. So okay, so we need to add them here. And as you can see, we've got an error with the database reference. So let's use our magical fix key, which is Alt and Enter. Alt and Enter. Okay, let's import the library, the missing library, which is this thing in here, Firebase database. Right. Okay, so is the code that we have right now, and so this will hopefully write hello Firebase into our database. So at the moment there is nothing in here, as you can see. Hopefully we'll find something written in here once we run our app. So let's now once again stop our app to make sure that everything is okay, and let's rerun it once again, and let's just now give it some time. Okay, great. Let's now check the Firebase, and yahoo, we've got our messages in here. Message, hello Firebase. Beautiful, great. Okay, so can I now show you this exciting thing? basically I'd like to add a check statement to see if this message is written successfully or not. So how do we do that? Let's find out. Okay, so from experience I know that I'll need to add .then and .catch somewhere. Okay, so first of all, let's copy this code. All right, let's go back to ChatGPT and let's ask ChatGPT this question. So here's the code that I have. All right, and how do I incorporate a check statement to confirm that this message has been actually successfully saved to the database? Basically, if the save operation is successful, I'd like to show a message that says data saved successfully. Otherwise, I'll need to see the error that we have faced. I don't want to use the try catch block. Okay, so let's do that. Enter. Okay, that seems like it. Perfect. And you've got the explanation here as well. So .then will be executed if the data is saved successfully. Otherwise, .catch error will be fired down. Okay, so we do need to have these things. .then print data successfully. Okay, catch error. We're going to see the error in here. All right. Okay. Let's copy that. Let's go back to our database. Okay, so this should happen somewhere in here. So we need to paste the code, that code in here. So .catch error. Okay, so sorry, so .then and then .catch. All right, let's delete that extra semicolon. All right, okay, so if the right operation is successful, this is what happens. If otherwise an error is encountered, we will have this printed to us. Okay, so now let's test the code that we've added and let's run this. Okay, so let's run it, and I think it has done a quick restart. Let's check the run tab, and as you can see, data saved successfully. Okay, we can actually try this somewhere else. So if you go back into here, we'll find hello Firebase again. But what happens if I just add the word Haytham in there, for example? Okay, so let's hot reload this time. All right, let's do this. And notice that there is no data saved successfully. And nothing changes in here. That means we do need to do a restart. Okay, let's do a restart this time. And this time it has restarted the application successfully, and we can see the message, data saved successfully. So now if we check our database, we'll see hello Firebase Haytham. Great. Right, one final thing that I'd like to add. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this. It doesn't make sense to me. And then just before the dot set, I'm going to add dot push. Why dot push? This will give me a random key. Because without it, look, without this, notice what happens. I'm going to restart the application once again. Okay. And the data, fantastic. This is an error right now. Okay. So I've got an error writing data to the database. So what can we do right now? We can actually copy this code. Okay, this is a good example of how to use ChatGPT. And let's go back to ChatGPT. So first of all, let's copy this. Okay, copy. Let's paste it in here, and then let's say just before it, let's say in here, I have got this error. Please help me fix it. Okay. And then somewhere in here is my full source code. Okay. Let's go back and actually this time copy the full source code. Okay. And just paste in here. Let's see the power of ChatGPT. Click enter. And let's see if ChatGPT can find the problem. Great. And it actually tells you that you'll need to have it like this. Okay, you'll need to have like it explains what the error is, and it shows you that you'll need to have it like this. Okay, so copy. That's because I've got these things. Okay, so I can tell you that this thing will work right now. That's not what I want, but let's double check that it actually works. Okay, let's restart the application. The data saved successfully. Great. So let me actually delete this and this and this. Okay, and now watch this. On my Firebase, I've got hello Firebase Haytham. How about if I change the name in there to Naif, for example? And now let's rerun this. Okay, the data again is saved successfully. Let's go and check the database. And as you can see, it has overwritten the original message. So to avoid that, let's add a random key each time. Let's use the method .push. So now watch what happens. If I rerun the data again, rerun the program again, hopefully I will get data saved successfully. Great. Let's now check this. So this is the random key that I was talking about, and now it says hello Firebase Naif. So let's now change Naif into Haytham. Watch what happens. Naif will remain there. So let's now restart the application. Hopefully we'll get data saved successfully again. And now let's check the database. It's I've got both of them. See, this thing is not replaced, is not overwritten by the new data. That's because I'm using random keys each time, and you can keep on going. For example, I could have Noor in here. Okay, so let's rerun the application once again, and now my friends, I've got data successfully. Let's go back and check the that we do actually have it in here. Great, fantastic. That's it. Thank you so very much indeed. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. And finally, let's get out there and let's make coding great once again. Thank you and happy coding.
أتى عهدنا يا عمان اطمئني فأمجادنا صحوة لم تنم فعهد علينا يمينا أطعنا نموت ونفنى ويحيى العلم نموت ونفنى ويحيى العلم